Oscar, this podcast has been used too much for negativity.
Thank you, Carl. That's right. We've got 200 episodes being negative Nancy's. Not today. Not today, Carl.
Today is all about positivity.
Positivity.
In film, in appearance, in the way that you keep the cleanliness of your car.
Yes.
That's right. It doesn't matter how much rubbish you leave in there. Your partner needs to get off your goddamn back.
It seems like you're bringing a lot into this podcast. We're not doing that today, Carl. My name's Oscar.
My name's Carl.
And
This is Who Would Watch This?
Carl, welcome to Who Would Watch This, the podcast where we watch a film, we chat about the film, and try and figure out watch this.
Today, we're not doing any of that.
None of that bullshit.
This time, we are just making recommendations.
Yes.
We've spent too long not recommending things that we love. And one of the things that we've done recently is stop doing the palate cleanser at the end of our episodes. And that's what we're doing today.
Yeah.
We are recommending some of our favorite movies we've ever seen in some really bizarre little subcategories.
Yes.
Oscar, are you excited?
I'm ecstatic. I've enjoyed the last day or two, compiling a little list, making our little categories. It's going to be an absolute blast.
It's going to be a blast. Shall we run through some of the categories we've got ahead as a little teaser?
I think so. First off, we got comfort movies. We got uncomfortable movies. Oh my goodness.
Films that make you cry.
Oh my god. Ones we never want to watch again.
Australian films.
Best flawed films.
Underrated movies.
Well, you got blockbusters in there.
Documentaries, black and white and old movies, or I don't know what category we were going to call it.
Just haggard.
Old movies.
Yeah, that's right. What's it called? Knocked Up, you old hag. You're done. And we finish it off with the best of the favourites. Okay, we'll do that, Carl.
The best of the faves.
Best/fave. Carl, let's get absolutely started. Let's get stuck in. This is how we're going to work. We're going to go through some films, each category, have a little one or two chat about them, and discuss, But let's start with the strongest one. The comfort movie.
It's all anybody wants.
Yes.
In the end, movies are just for comfort.
Literally, it's an escape. You're looking at your life going, oh, I adopted that dog. You're like, I need to watch Citizen Kane. That's just how it happens.
Amount of times people are like, you've got to watch that movie. It's very important. And you're like, yeah, well, I worked all week and I'm tired. So I'm just going to rewatch one of these movies like 40 times in a row.
Carl, let's get into the comfort movies. Do you want to go first or should I?
Yeah, I'll be interested to know if we have any crossovers in terms of our favorite comfort movies. I think I definitely sort of moved towards rom-coms and comedies during my times in need of comfort.
Yep.
These are also sort of like my sick movies. I feel like
I've got sick movies down here as well.
I think I definitely watch them all the time. I've got The Devil Wears Prada.
Classic. You love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
To me, The Devil Wears Prada is one of the most thrilling movies ever made.
I think fair enough.
Done in the most comfortable way possible. Because I just think... When was the last time you watched The Devil Wears Prada?
Recently.
Yeah.
And I get more of an appreciation for it each time I watch it.
I do think it does a really good... Because I think definitely for a long time, I think people viewed it very much as like a rom-com movie. And I think it's become just like a workplace film.
Yeah.
I think people have like, oh yeah, I remember giving too much of myself to a job where I was not appreciated.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I feel that fashion monologue goes around in my head all the time.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. It's so iconic and it's such a comfort movie.
It's the only reason I know what the color cerulean is.
Carl, can I jump in here with the Lego Movie?
Ooh.
I love the Lego Movie. I think it's the best kids film that's ever happened. I know it's just a toy commercial.
Better than the Goonies.
Yep. It's just a toy commercial, but it makes me cry every time. It's the funniest comedy I've ever seen. Everything's good. The animation is gorgeous. It uses Lego. I have such nostalgia. I love Lego. I used to love making little films of Lego. And the fact that this film is this good, it just brings me such joy. And I watch it whenever I'm feeling down.
What was your opinion of it pre-watching it? Did you think it was going to be as good as you... Like, because I feel like when people were like, they're making a Lego movie, everybody was like... post Battleship, they were like, okay, cash grab.
Yeah, I did. I remember thinking quietly, oh, that won't be. Watching it, I was like, this is just, they've nailed it. I feel like I loved Cloudy Chance Meatballs. This overtook that in terms of, I know they got the Spider-Man, but who gives a shit about that? They got the Lego Movie. I love the Lego Movie.
It is a shame that the Lego movies didn't turn into like $1 billion franchise.
I mean, the Ninjago of it all. I did start watching that. It's very kid heavy, but the Batman's also fantastic.
Oh yeah, Lego. I was trying to remember what the other one was.
And
Lego
the
Batman.
second part is the third best one. So
rough.
Yeah. Carl, what you got next?
I think we're going to have to jump over to Studio Ghibli. Mine is Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh, beautiful.
This is my second favorite Studio Ghibli movie,
okay.
but it's the comfort one.
Yes.
The other one's like this is what this is.
Ah.
But there is something about the fact that again, I think because I was introduced to the Studio Ghibli movies as a kid, like it's obviously the English dub ones that are the affiliation that I have.
Yeah.
And now that I'm older, when I was watching like Boy and the Heron, I was like, dubbed? No, thank you. I can watch subtitles now. There is nothing more comfortable to me than Billy Crystal being a little fire.
Oh yeah, I think he really captures that.
Yeah.
It's crazy how good
He is.
That
There is a part where he just like it's. Anytime they cook in a Studio Ghibli movie, it's just the best cooking.
Yeah.
And I just remember it's like they make the bacon and eggs like in the frying pan and they throw the little eggs over to him to eat.
Yeah.
And it's just the cutest thing. And that just heals my soul.
I love that. I've got Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. This is my if I'm
All
sick,
three.
all three. They only get better. Don't at me when I'm sick. They get better. Okay, we're finishing off with a western. That's when the end of my flu hits. I just love Back to the Future. I love time travel. I've got some time travel movies here. Go well, the cinematography and the pacing. Nah, time travel. If it's got time travel, I love it. I love it so much. I've watched a beautiful video essay breaking down all the visual effects and Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. I just love it. It's just my comfort film. I love it so much. It's great.
If you have to rank them,
It would have to be. I know. Here's the thing, and I'm like technically 1's the best, but 2 is top tier. Then 1, then 3. I just like going back to the. I didn't know that Krista Glover didn't return as a child. I'm like, that's crazy, and it's Marty as a girl. He's all the people. That's just great stuff. I love it so much.
I've got Forgetting Sarah Marshall next.
Yeah, nice.
I think I just like the vacay.
Yeah.
And I think there is a real sense of it's fun to see a real harrowing breakup. Like he's sort of really mourning the loss of a relationship in that movie. And then healed by friends.
Yeah.
And that's just lovely. Have you seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
I have seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
How long ago?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I did like it at the time. It hasn't stuck with me, but I watched it maybe a bit.
It
should have. I like that. It's funny a comfort movie has some tragedy in it.
I don't think like a comfort movie shouldn't really be challenging you.
No.
It just needs to be like, aren't you enjoying this vibe? Isn't there a familiarity that's making you feel comfortable?
Yeah.
And on top of that, I think I'll just throw in 2 other sort of like modern comedies, but Bridesmaids and Crazy Stupid Love.
Yeah, nice.
I think they're just top tier, good times. Just very like, I think Crazy Stupid Love like obviously has a twist ending.
Yeah.
I think Bridesmaids looks into like a real need of jealousy in friendships that is like not very much touched on in modern media. So I just think those are 2 also great sort of modern day comedies.
Oh, beautiful. I'll throw out their Office Space for comedy. I love that one. The more I watch it, the more just them sitting in traffic.
You mean the more we live like this?
Yeah, the more I'm sitting. Every time I'm in traffic and I change a lane, I think of that
Yeah.
movie. I love Office Space.
Yeah.
And I'll throw out The Big Lebowski. I absolutely adore this film. I love the Coens. They'll be showing up a bit more on the list. But it's just comfortable.
They trick you into thinking you're going to like a White Russian.
Yeah.
Do you like a White Russian?
I do like a White Russian.
I don't believe
I
you.
do. I mean, it's just, what do you mean? A White Russian's lovely. It's a milkshake. You don't do much vodka. It's mainly Kahlua.
Oh, is that what it is? I thought it was vodka and milk.
No, vodka, milk, and Kahlua.
Oh,
which
okay.
makes
That's
it,
a little bit more palatable.
Yeah, milk
Did you
and-
ever buy mud shakes?
Like a milkshake, like the alcoholic one. They're never alcoholic enough, and it's just a very expensive milkshake.
It's
and
not worth
crap.
it for the amount of milk that you have to ingest.
It's a dense amount of milk.
It's so much powdered milk turned water, just like in a can. What I wouldn't give for a mud shake right now. My next one on my comfort list is When Harry Met Sally.
That's beautiful. That's
Right?
real nice.
Has that turned out? Is that on any of your
It's
lists?
not on my list. I just absolutely adore it. I've been saving to watch it because we are going to be doing eat while we watch it. Cook, you know how people cook. I can't wait to do that. I really want to rewatch it, but I'm saving myself for that. I do love When Harry Met Sally.
That's right. If you don't know what it is like an eat while you watch, it's like where you just decide to like get a group of friends over and you just cook all the food that's in it and then eat it when those things correspond.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do the coconut cake.
I'm with the Reuben.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And there's more.
there's
have a little
more.
Bloody Mary in the middle. Oh, so good. I'll round out my last 2 as well. The Incredibles
Yes.
is obviously so dear.
Are you quietly keen for the third, or
I am.
Okay.
I think because I do think the direction of the second one's really, really strong and the animation's really good. And I wish the story was better.
Yeah.
But I think if they do a time jump, I think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
I think let's see these characters aged up a bit.
Yeah.
I wish we didn't focus on other superheroes. I think I don't need other superheroes in The Incredibles. I don't need somebody spitting lava and stuff.
I
just need the family.
Ones. Yeah, totally.
You know, Jack can be like 5 and with all of his powers, that sounds like a vibe to me. And then my last one's About Time.
Oh, it is. I'm mixed on About Time because it throws about 7 different things at you and makes you cry, but 4 of those made me cry. So it kind of, you can't really dock at points, but it's so good. I don't have it is a comfort movie. What
It's so quaint.
It's like it's
so quaint. It's one of those movies where they're like, wouldn't it be fun to time travel in a quaint little countryside town? And do you like your dad? And you're like,
I'll round us off with Oceans 1, 2, and 3. I love
intriguing.
I love a heist. I love watching George Clooney steal jewels. That's my comfort.
In terms of the second one, is the second one really a comfort?
No, but here's the thing: when I'm sick, I'll roll through those three.
True, yeah.
I'll roll through those 3. I'm not talking. I don't mind if maybe it doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm happy for it to be in the French countryside looking at artwork. I'm fine with that, Carl. That's fine. I got Al Pacino on the hills. That's fine. I'm comfortable. I like that. I love the ocean.
The second one does have that great opening where he's going and getting all of them.
It does.
To like atone for them. I'll never forget the guy that's like doing horrible stand-up and he's just like to Andy Garcia like, thanks for letting me finish.
Eddie Izzard as well is fantastic in that.
Oh, I forget Eddie Izzard is in it. It's a real shame. I've just like, because I think, what did we watch recently where there was like a cat burglar? Hudson Hawk. And it just made me be like, I love Vincent Cassel in Ocean's 12. And I wish he was like, they should do a spin-off with him.
There's enough there. I'm happy to give it a pass.
I'd watch him just like slink around Europe stealing eggs.
Oh, God. That could be a film.
He could do Fabergé eggs. Mm-hmm. He could do
golden
chicken eggs.
Yeah.
And he could do eggs from a sperm bank.
Yeah. Classic.
Do you store eggs at a sperm bank?
I just assume it's all incompetent. It'd be wildly incompetent. It feels like...
What if you accidentally spilled both together?
Yeah, exactly.
Just the baby popped up.
Oh, nuts. Oh, God.
That's yours now.
And that's how he got away with it.
That's as far as I understand sex works. So I do apologize.
You got the gist. Carl, let's jump into the uncomfortable film. Now, what would you define as an uncomfortable film?
I think a movie that makes you feel anxious.
Yep.
I think a movie that you're not jumping at rewatching. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you like the anxiety, but though at least that was for me. I was like a movie that's like where you're like, oh, that was either a bit too much, that was a little bit uncomfortable, that was a little bit too close to home. All those things. How'd you decide to categorize?
I've gone a little bit taboo. I've gone a bit like the things that are a bit either the pacing or the whole film is trying to give you an anxiety attack.
Yeah.
However, I do love panic cinema. I never get people that are like, I like horror. I'm with you. I can watch a couple of horror films. When I get a person in an uncomfortable position, that's crack to me. That's my good stuff. I'm in my comfort zone here, the uncomfortable film. Carl, should we jump into it?
Let's do it.
I'm going to start off with an absolute banger. It's Todd Solondz. It's called Happiness, Carl. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it because you've talked about it numerous times on the podcast.
That's all I want to talk about. Carl, it's a horrible little film. You're following a family of 3, 3 sisters. One is, I'm going to have to bleep some of this out. One is a burnout that can't catch a break. One is a stay-at-home mum who's married to a and the other one is an accomplished author that has Philip Seymour Hoffman trying to, woo her. It's absolutely pretty depressing. The comedy...
You're kidding.
Yeah.
The movie's called Happiness.
It's an oxymoron classic. It's so unpleasant at points, but the comedy is, I wouldn't say funny. Maybe 3 days later, you're like, that was a really good bit. In the moment, your jaws on the floor, and just like, oh my God, I can't believe this. But it's very... It kind of comes back around where you're kind of like, okay, this is humanity, and I like it. I love it. I am gushing about it. I like a lot of Todd Solondz work. I'm a vibe. Carl, what have you got?
I like the idea of somebody with their arms crossed watching the movie in the cinema being like, an oxymoron. I didn't need this today.
I signed up for some happiness, and what have I got? Pretty bleak look at reality. Pretty bleak.
I thought when I was signing up to this Philip Seymour Hoffman film that it would be happiness.
It's one of his best. It's one of his best. God, he has range. It's got him, after again bleep this, he's got him wiping off a wall. Oh, he nails it. He nails it. Carl, what else you got?
I've got Uncut Gems.
Oh, I love Uncut
because
Gems.
it's just anxiety.
Yep.
It's just that's all it is.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. When we came back, your partner had finished watching it, and she was just like shook.
Yeah.
Just on the couch, and you're like, "Yep."
It's pretty
That's just
great.
all it is. You just watch somebody ruining their life minute to minute, making awful decisions, and you're just like, "Yeah, gotta stop."
God, I love Uncut Gems so much. It is so tense. And then the curse was like, what if that tension was there, but they're so much sadder and it's pathetic. And you're like, great, how long is it? It's 10 hours. You're like, I'll watch it all. I'll watch it all. Carl, I've gone for another little pretty bleak one. Piano Teacher. Vibes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a movie I'm not eager to ever watch again.
No.
But it is excellent.
It's just fantastic.
I honestly forgot to put them all on here, but it's basically any movie by Michael Haneke.
Yeah.
Like,
they're great, and he is the best.
Yeah.
But, do not want to go. I'm like, should I boot up a more? No. When would I ever want to watch that?
I think it's what's the other? It's either the White Ribbon or the Red Balloon.
Yeah,
I can't remember what
he's got
it is.
Funny Games, which I think is his lightest one.
Yeah, I think that's his most like commercial. Even though I think that also has like fourth wall breaking in it.
Yeah,
but
they remade it like
the
for
cachet is deeply uncomfortable as well,
Yeah.
which is the one where they're just getting recordings of people having recorded their lives.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a bleak man. It's an uncomfortable watch, but it might be the best.
It is. He definitely is, for some reason, really tapped into a certain emotion, and you're like, this is a lot.
It's harrowing.
If this is on your mind all the time, and I assume it is because every movie you've made is like this, you mustn't be like having a good time.
Have you seen that round table interview? It's him and like the director, what's it called? Jim from The Office. And there's just
the director of If.
Yeah, the director of If. It's them at a round table.
God.
And the interviewer is just like, so what do you guys think about like Schindler's List? And everyone's like, oh, it's a very important film. You know, you really got to show that. And Michael Haneke goes, it is deplorable. And then there's like a translator in the other corner. And Jim from The Office is like, looked as a Jim to the out camera like, oh God, why did I open my mouth? He's a complex man, but I love the Piano Teacher.
Yeah, it feels like the White Ribbon and Schindler's List are like two versions of how to like depict a war.
Yeah, I feel like he's gone for like, I can't make this in any way entertaining. I think that was his issue with because you watching this, there's like, oh, that's a fun ramp of tension. Now they're not going to the.
It's very. I would say the White Ribbon's almost very.
Is it Fly on the Walls?
Yeah, it's very familiar. It's like the zone of interest, just in the terms of the fact whether you're like, isn't this evil insidious?
Yeah,
you know, isn't the complicity. Like,
yeah,
this is what happened.
Yes,
you know, it's the people that weren't doing anything. Are they the most evil?
Yeah,
and you're like,
goodness. Well, it's a Tuesday, Michael. So
yeah,
how about that?
Is. One of my friends was like, we should watch the White Ribbon in cinemas, and I was like, okay. And then afterwards, I was just like struggling to eat at a table. He was like, wasn't that great? And I was like, yeah, yes.
Carl, what else you got for uncomfortable?
I have an Antichrist.
Oh damn!
Yeah. So
is this the one where is
William Dafoe?
Yes. Is this Martin Scorsese's?
No, it's
Oh, is it
it's Terrence Malick.
Yes.
Terrence Malick's like horror movie with like somebody like nailing down William Dafoe's giant penis.
Yep, that'll do it.
You know, that penis that they had that's giant in the movie but smaller than his real life one because they thought it'd be too funny if he used his real penis. Just that movie is, and it's also like I've never finished it. It has stuck with me my entire life from watching like 30 minutes of it when I was a child, and my brother being like, "Wait, are you watching this right now? Get out of the room!" Like, it's just
Did you get anything out of it, or it was just a horrible?
Scarred.
Yeah, scarred.
I'm so horrifically scarred.
Nice.
Like the beginning of it is a baby falling out of a window.
Goodness.
Just while a graphic sex scene happens.
Is it pre or post Tree of Life?
It's pre Tree of Life.
Gotcha. So we need a little pick me up.
It's pre Hope.
That's not what comes before Hope.
I guess I haven't seen Tree of Life. I assume it's hopeful.
I think so. It's a tree. Tree symbolizes goodness.
All I know is didn't a lot of people that watch Tree of Life were like, just watch a nature documentary. Like,
I don't know. I feel like people are like, that's the best film ever, or people are like, who do you agree with? I don't know.
it's one of those movies. Have you got a movie where you're like, I bet if I watch that, I'd hate it? Because
Oh,
I think
man,
The
that's a
Tree
really
of
good-
Life is my like, I bet if I watch that, I would hate it. And I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
But I think I'm gonna hate it.
Yeah, fairs.
And that's why I'm like, I'm just not going to watch it.
Maybe I'll lie, give it 4 stars.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe I'll pretend I understood what was going on like I do in most Terrence Malick movies.
Carl, I've also got Sitcom. This is did you ever watch that film, Director of Summer, the Summer of 85? It was on Netflix. It's a really nice, like, gay romance movie, real chill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, he directed a film where it's a French surrealist satire where a dad brings in a white rat, and guess what? Incest ensues. It's a pretty unpleasant film. I couldn't tell you what it's about exactly. I guess just sort of a critique of a family, but pretty disturbing. I don't really want much to say. Kind of a vibe, though. So, you do with that what you want.
If you want to watch a less confronting sitcom, Young Sheldon. However, there's just about the same amount of incest. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, Sheldon doesn't look healthy.
Oh, no. But
not with that brain.
But he does fuck.
Does he?
Of course he does. It's young.
We don't know.
It's Young Sheldon.
We simply don't know. I've got Requiem for a Dream, which I don't think I'll ever rewatch.
No, I don't even want to start it. No one's gone out of that gone, yep, that was great.
It's really good.
Yeah, I know it's great, but no one's like,
So many different depictions of addiction.
Yeah.
And none of them lead to happiness. And you think it might, but it doesn't.
What? Drugs don't... Oh, well,
that's the dream. You're going to have Requiem for it.
Put the pipe down. Carl, I've also got A Serious Man. I didn't really know where to put this. It's similar to Uncut Gems, but... It's directed by the Coen brothers, but essentially Uncut Gems, but religion. And then the film kind of goes, hey, there's no point to life. And then the film kind of goes, hey, there's no real point to this film. But that's kind of the point, and it kind of leaves you pretty uncomfortable. It's great. 5 stars. It's the underrated Coen. I love it. I wouldn't recommend it.
Why is it here then?
It's uncomfortable.
If it's underrated, why isn't it in the underrated section?
No, because
you've muddled your sections.
I've not. I've just shammed films that I like into whichever category works.
That was a much easier way to do it. There's many movies I have not brought up today because I was just like, well, they don't fit in these. We need to talk about Kevin.
Oh goodness, yeah.
Is such a fantastic movie.
Yeah,
and just really gets under the skin. It's just, there is a scene where Ezra Miller eats a lychee, and it's the grossest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, goodness. And
it's the way the sound design is, and the way that, like, the foreshadowing of the massacre to come is. I think it's just deeply uncomfortable. Tilda Swinton's the best she's ever been.
Yeah.
And we need to talk about Kevin. Shocking she wasn't even nominated that year.
Who directed it?
I think it's Lynn Ramsey.
Yeah,
she did I Wish You Were Here, I think is the one with Joaquin Phoenix. That's quite good. Maybe it's not that. Maybe I shouldn't be going out on a limb tonight. I don't think my brain's fully functioning. But either way, we need to talk about Kevin is very good.
Yeah.
I do think everyone should watch that movie. It's just a deeply uncomfortable
I think
film.
all the films I've written down today are films that I would not recommend. I think people should watch. Some of these I would never recommend.
I'm not loving how much incest is in yours.
Oh, I've got... Well, actually, it's all incest. Damn, most of it's incest.
You got Adam Sandler's "That's My Boy" in there.
It's just
remember when that's the twist of that movie.
Film. I don't think that's a twist. I think that's the premise. I think that's the building blocks of the plot.
It was Adam Sandler was just like, we've got to do something with this.
It's a taboo that needs to be taken down.
Well done. Look, I've got some on here that I think as we went along, I decided weren't as uncomfortable because yours were deeply more uncomfortable. And they're not going to pop up again, so I'm just going to say them. But I guess they don't fit here. But it's The Hunt with Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, nice.
Which I think is very, very good, about a man that is wrongly thought to be a pedophile in a town. The Vanishing, which is a fantastic foreign film. Where a man becomes obsessed with the fact that his girlfriend just vanished. And it's from the POV from both him looking for her and the person that essentially killed her deciding as to whether or not he should taunt this man.
Goodness.
And it just has such a good ending. Like, that movie is good all the way through. And then when its ending happens, you just go... So I would
I absolutely love that feeling. I love an uncomfortable film.
I would highly recommend The Vanishing. I think it's in the Criterion Collection. I think it's a very coveted.
Carl, I've also got Enter the Void, Gaspar Noé, can't pronounce it. Listen, it's 3 hours of a DMT attack. It's pretty aggressive. I think it's fantastic. But I gotta tell you, watched it a little bit high. The protagonist's name is Oscar. Really freaked me out. Don't think I'll be watching it again. Stunning. Check it out. Oh my god, it is a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. Great stuff, though. Real fun, real fun. Just don't watch it. It is just fantastic. It's just fantastic.
I've been trapped in a void for too long, and I will not re-enter.
Oh, yeah. No, that's it.
So that film is not for me.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It's like another uncomfortable movie is, you know what, it should be on here. It's just about to get remade. Actually, by the time this episode comes out, probably has already hit cinemas. Speak No Evil has been remade with James McAvoy. And I don't think those trailers look good, but if you watch the original, that is just like watch people being overly polite be punished for not leaving. Like it's good. And you just keep on being like, oh, would I have left by now?
Yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't. Like it's just
that's a great
it
I love
just
that premise.
and you just and things just happen, you go, oh, that comment's just but would you laugh it off?
Yeah.
And it just builds until you're like, I'm in a pot of boiling water.
Goodness.
Like it's fantastic. I'm shocked the Americans have even bothered to try and remake it. And it'll probably like end with, I don't know, a ghost helping them. Be like, that's okay, run.
It's a kind
I'll open
story.
the door.
I did watch the trailer for that. The ghost is played by Jack Black, and it does work.
Big shame. Big shame.
I've also got Blonde here. Is that crazy?
Maybe. You're the only person I know that's ever bothered to be like, I watched Blonde.
I'm tempted to watch it again. I want to like get more. It's definitely got something there. It's just such a. It really is an assault on the senses. But I think there's something there. I like the director, but I just don't know if I can bring myself to watch it. I'm tiptoeing around it, but I don't think I will. I've also got Bad Taste, Carl. This is Peter Jackson's first film. I think it's fun.
Is it in bad taste?
It's in bad taste. It's a shame because I don't think it's got enough to go back to, but I think all the creativity and seeing someone make a film for the first time is very impressive. Is it worth watching again? Probably not, but it is interesting. I would recommend it. Probably never gonna watch it again.
It is funny when you watch like the Lord of the Rings movies and then you sort of see the rest of Peter Jackson's career and you're just like, wow.
Well,
was that a mistake that you nailed those movies?
No, I think it's on like bad taste. You see all the sort of like creative like
he's definitely very creative.
Fight scenes and all the orcs like heads getting squished in is in bad taste.
Yeah.
I think and then I guess he just also loves the Beatles. So, mix those together, what do you get? Lord of the Rings.
Just color. He just likes being like, what if the black and white was color?
Yeah.
What if this war was color? And you go, okay, Peter. And he's like, what if these bones were lovely? Our next category is movies that make you cry.
Weep. Do you like crying in films? Do you seek it out? Yeah.
I cry, but here's the thing. I do cry all the time. Like it is not hard to manipulate me into crying. I manipulate myself. If I'm on like a long drive, I'm like, I wonder what my funeral would be like. And I'm just in tears by the end of it. And if I'm like not in like enough torture, I'll just be like, what would I write for somebody I love's funeral? And just by the end of it, I would nail it. I would nail it. Oh, God. I simply would. It's a real hype up. After crying, you go...
come into every event with tears in your face. You're like, I've just had... I'm like, Carl, we're just here for some drinks, okay? It's a Tuesday.
I come in, I'm like, I think I might be a great son.
Carl, what was
the first one that I want to hit up is a foreign film called Where is the Friend's House?
Oh, okay.
Which is an excellent movie about a 8-year-old boy who must return his friend's notebook he took by mistake, lest his friend be punished by expulsion from the school.
Okay.
And it's like an 80-minute movie. Mm-hmm. I think it is available on, I think I might have watched it on Mubi. Mm-hmm. So it is out there, very easily accessible. Mm-hmm. I think, is it in the Letterboxd top? It is it's 87 in Letterboxd top 250. It is very moving, and it is just a very, I don't know. The stakes are just like, can this kid get this notebook back to his friend?
Yeah,
and like on this journey in like a very poor country, and it's just very beautiful, and the ending frame is just. It's just great. Nice. And it's not a deeply sad movie. It's one of those movies where it's just the feeling itself, I think, is just It's very emotional.
Yeah.
And I think that's more challenging to do in a movie is like make you cry from sheer emotion and power rather than being like this character you like is dying.
Yeah.
Or this character you like is being punished.
Yeah.
You know. So shout out for that one.
Nice, lovely. Speaking of characters dying, you got a core memory because I think Iron Giant. I love this as a film. Brad Bird. I'll say
Bradley
it.
Bird.
Bradley Bird.
Bradley Birdley.
He flew away and got this. I love the Iron Giant. I think it's a beautiful film. Oh, a weapon that once has a soul. Genius. I rewatched it recently. That end scene. I guess my only little issue is I wish he actually properly did die as an adult. But when he flies off and sacrifices himself, brings a tear to my eye every time. I absolutely love that film. I think it's fantastic.
It's your favorite Vin Diesel role.
I think so. Oh, but I do love XX. Oh, it's tough. It's tough.
I gotta tell you, I don't remember a single thing about the Iron Giant.
I have you rewatched it?
I don't think I've seen the Iron Giant since I was a child.
Gotcha. It really stuck with me. I have no idea.
I mean,
why.
I love Brad Bird.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I would like it.
I think it's his best work. I'll say it. What's he got? Incredibles. What else he got?
Ratatouille.
I would. You know what?
Don't you fucking dare. I'll come over there and headbutt you.
It's fine. It's fine. It's a close second.
My next one's Short Term 12 by Dustin Daniel Cretton.
Never heard of it.
Oh, really? Short Term 12 is about a foster care facility and the people that are running it and the kids and their lives and why they're all there and they do what they do. And it feels it's sort of, I guess, created every up and coming star that we have now.
Whoa, when did it come out?
It came out in 2013. And I think it might have even been made before that and then got stuck for a while on a festival circuit. But it's the movie that sort of blew up Brie Larson, Caitlin Dever, Rami Malek, Lakeith Stanfield, and John Gallagher Jr. And it's just phenomenal. I would highly recommend everybody watch it. It's just about like the supervisors and their own troubled pasts, and them sort of getting into each other's lives like entwined. And I don't think it does anything very like. I think it's a movie that could be a soap opera, but just isn't. And I think it's very.
How do they achieve that? Is it just?
I think it's just like I think it's just very delicately shot, and it's just very nuanced in its acting and depiction of the foster care system. What have you got next?
Carl, I've got a film I watched pretty recently. I absolutely loved it. It's by Jim Cummings. It's Thunder Road. Have you seen this one?
No, but I've seen his follow-up.
Oh, yes. Okay.
I've seen The Wolf of Snooze Hollow.
How was that? I think we have talked about
inconsistent, but overall, I think good. I think he's obviously leveling up budget-wise.
Yes.
And he's probably biting off a bit more than he can chew, but it has some incredible stuff.
This one's pretty good. It's just him as like a sort of a cop. He's just trying to raise his, I think his daughter, sort of trying to deal with the grief of his like losing his mum. It was a short film originally, just him at a funeral giving a eulogy, which is also great as well. This is a scene in the film. It's sort of fleshed out for the rest of it. Very funny, very, I think does really nice cinematography. Real fun wides in the sense of like, just some really sad scenes put in it's just like not a mid shot. It's like not a wide shot. It's just this sort of pretty grim thing happening. It's beautiful. It's very sad and it's very funny. And it makes me absolutely bawl at the end. I think it's the thing with his mum. It's beautiful. I high recommend on that one.
What does the Thunder Road refer to?
I don't know, Carl. I would say it's a windy road in a rainstorm. You gonna leave me in the lurch there? Okay, cool. What have you got next?
Yes, and All of Us Strangers recently came out, which has Andrew Scott and Paul Mescal, and I just thought it ruined me.
Is that out anywhere? That's still
yes,
the
yeah.
festival.
That's it. You can watch that on like YouTube and stuff like that. It's just so good and so upsetting, and it is just like, and it's really beautifully shot, and it's very. You know when a movie's like, wow, you really nailed like being dreamy or like being in another state. Like when the movie sort of very happily crosses over into something that feels a little bit more unnatural or supernatural. It's just so good at visualizing that and giving you that feeling that something is a little bit off. Yeah. But it's very warm. I can't express how this director was able to like just make things feel like a hug. Yeah. And then rip him. Just rip him. High recommend on that one. I also think it's like Andrew Scott's best performance.
Wow,
he's so good in it. So good in it.
Carl, I've got one that made me cry afterwards called It's Such a Beautiful Day. I think you may have seen the short film, or have you seen this one? No.
I've seen the full one now.
Yes.
Nice.
I absolutely adore it. It's by the guy who does the My Spoon Is Too Big from YouTube. Back in the day, you think, oh man, what a funny little thing. That guy's going to destroy you. I think he's working with Ari Aster soon.
Yeah, they've got is it a claymation?
I think so. He's got a bunch of short films. It'll pop up, but this one's just fantastic. It's very simple animation. I think sort of deals with sort of just life, and I think the protagonist is sort of losing their memories and stuff like that. It's just done. It's just beautiful. I really, it's indescribable how it makes me feel. I think everyone should go watch it. I think it's like 50 minutes, just beautiful, real simple storytelling, and it just creates such a poignant emotion. I love it.
It was a beautiful day, or it is such a beautiful day.
It's such a beautiful day. You nailed it. It's such
a beautiful day. It's nice to see the movies getting more like action, because I'm seeing it pop up at cinemas.
Yes.
So, because I don't know what exactly the rights to that movie are.
No, it seems like he's just him on Vimeo. It's like $3. You want to buy it? Come on, do it.
It's fun to see them when they like level up, like the potion salesman that wrote Challenges.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
It's good stuff when you go...
Check out youtube.com, guys. A lot of good stuff on there. A lot of good stuff.
A lot of bad stuff as well.
Yeah, I'd say 95% bad stuff. I think we're on there, aren't we?
Mostly toxicity.
Yeah.
It's mostly... We're great on it, though.
Oh, yeah. We're thriving.
It's us, but with a little image with waves. Huh? When you hear this, the waves go up and down. My last one I have on my list is Paris, Texas.
Oh, can I... No, can we do a spoiler? Because I'm about to watch it. I'm very...
What do you mean you're about to watch it?
Get out.
Like you're...
Get out. I've got it screen...
to turn around and just push the DVD in.
Wim Wenders, take me away. No, go on, say it, but no spoilers.
Oh, I'm not going to spoil anything. Who knew there was a Paris in Texas? Huh? And it makes you cry. No, this is just, it's really, I think, because it's a movie where you know this man is like punishing himself and you don't know why, and you don't know who the people are that he's sort of seeing along the way. And the movie just takes its sweet time, and it has such beautiful moments of levity that feel very natural. And then it just has a very good monologue at the end, and it's shot in such an interesting way, in the way that they've disconnected the characters for it. I just think it's a really good journey. I think when you look at movies that sort of make you cry, they are very, like the ones that I've mentioned, are very small in scope. Like they're very much like, this is about a house or a compound or a facility or somebody like catching a train. Like it's very much on like a small scale, and this is one where this character does very much go on quite a long journey to get to where they go. To get to where they go to. So I just think it's the scope and the beauty of the movie is very good, but it's very good at then feeling small in that. So I do think it's definitely Wim Wenders?
Wim Wenders.
Yeah, I think it's Wim Wenders' best film.
I'll throw it there. These are just films that made me cry.
Yeah.
I think Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, I think it's a great comedy, and the ending always makes me cry.
That's fair.
It's
Christmas.
It's Christmas. I got Up in the Air. That also makes me cry. It's just a beautiful... what is it? What's his name? I can't remember his name.
We're talking about Up in the Air later.
Okay,
if you're happy to pause it.
You pause it there. I'm a big fan of it. And I also had Ghost World. I just wanted to shout it out. I like Ghost World. I think it really captures that American... I love... 90s America. I think they had nothing else to do, and they were like, "What have we got introspective?" I'm like, "Yes." I like Losers. I think Steve Buscemi and the girl in that are fantastic. I love losers finding each other and being losers together, and it's great stuff.
If you haven't seen Ricky Gervais's Ghost Town, it's just that movie Follow.
Yeah, that's pretty. Wow, that's actually that's my underrated one.
I'm not gonna lie, I probably did cry when I saw Ghost Town. Speaking of Ghost Town, another one of my cry lists was The Sixth Sense. That's a movie I cried in. The Iron Claw is one recently I bawled my eyes out in. Dead Poet Society.
Yeah.
Always cry. And Manchester by the Sea is just deeply harrowing.
There you go, wrenching.
Yeah.
Carl, let's move on to homegrown cinema. That's right, Australia.
Australia.
What's your take on Australian films?
pretty inconsistent.
Yep.
You gotta weed out the good ones.
Yeah.
I think we probably have a very similar list when it comes to like good Australian movies.
Huge.
So
I've gone a bit deep. I've gone some deep cuts.
I tried to get some deep cuts. So I think I'm happy to sort of throw out like I think anything that's already sort of been said about the great Australian movies. So I think like Muriel's Wedding is really good. Obviously the Mad Max films.
Yes.
The Castle,
Yeah.
I think is a really good Australiana type movie. Talk to Me, I thought was very confidently made recently last year. So I think those ones have been enough has been said about how good those ones are.
Let's go for the sort of rare ones.
Yeah.
I've got 2 companion pieces. They shouldn't be companion pieces, and yet they nail it. I got Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. I got Wake and Fright. I love these two. I love the outback. I love masculinity in Australia, and it's fucking terrifying. And 2 films go, let's tackle it one way. One's, it's a horrid, horrid thing that you should never go out into the outback because masculinity will destroy you, and it loops back around, and it's terrifying. It's
a
awful.
weird take on Priscilla.
Yes, they shouldn't have gone out there in that bus. And then Priscilla is almost the polar opposite of that. They go in with such joy, and they spread a bit of their joy around, and they reject it a bit. But I think Australia is so masculine. I think we really pride ourselves on that. I think it's pretty silly.
It is. We're a silly country.
We're a silly country.
Did you just see Ray Gun dance?
Yeah, that's right. We're very topical here.
What's this, 2 months late?
I just love that. I love that theme in Australian films. I just think we're a weird country. I think being a bit critical of that is what I love in my Australian films. Carl, what have you got?
Mary and Max.
I've got Mary and Max.
Yeah, let's just bring it
gush.
Up. I mean, honestly, that could have been in the Cry one.
It should have been the Cry one.
Yeah.
I feel like Philip Seymour Hoffman's getting a lot of love. God, and Toni Collette, I think, is the daughter. Oh, it's beautiful. I think he's got a new movie coming out pretty soon, which I'm pretty excited for. The director of Mary.
They do, and doesn't it have great reviews? Is that the snail one?
I think so. Yes, it is the snail one.
Yeah.
They make one film every 10 years. God, it's good. Check out Mary and Max. I think that's I feel if you're Australian, know it. If you don't know it, that's just I don't want to spoil. It's just Philip Seymour Hoffman and a little girl pen paling, and it's beautiful.
The other one on my list is a horror film called Triangle.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard
which
Triangle.
I think you might enjoy. I think it's best enjoyed when you have no idea what it's doing or where it's going, and it's just about it's just like a low budget sci-fi horror, and I think it just has a very, very interesting depiction of parallels. I'm trying to like talk around it so it doesn't sort of spoil it, but I think if you enjoy sort of like isolated thrillers that have a really good like mystery component or maybe more of like a mind-bending component to it, then Triangle's really good.
Fantastic. I've got a couple. I've got Bliss, which is a tiny little film that's not available anywhere, but I found it online. It's great. It's a little Australian film from the 80s. Real fun. Essentially a man's like sort of after hours running around Sydney. Great stuff. Also got Walkabout, but the last one I'll talk about is Bad Boy Bubby. Imagine The Room, but just horrid and set in Adelaide. So essentially a man is trapped in a little box by his mother for 30 years, and then she tells him, hey, you go outside, you get gas and everything. He finally goes outside, and he's just let loose on the city of Adelaide. And
in Adelaide.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's the horror.
Yeah.
It's I think they did like 40 cinematographers all had a go at shooting a scene, so it's all got this very weird sort of feel to it. It's got some beautiful things to say. It's one of, I think, Australia's best. It's got, Old Man Withers from Scooby-Doo 2. He plays the little man. It's very disturbing, but I think it's fantastic. And shout out Peter Weir. I didn't have any Peter Weir films, but Peter Weir's a vibe.
I mean, yeah, Picnic at Hanging Rock is very famous. I mean, his Australian stuff's good, but his American stuff is amazing.
Way better.
When Peter Weir went overseas, he really ditched us, and it got so much better. I would really like to shout out Nitram, which I think is really good, which is about the story of the guy behind the Port Arthur massacre.
Wow.
That also could be in the uncomfortable category. The Boys in the Trees is a really underrated little horror drama set on Halloween in Australia. I know that director's gone on to do some fun stuff. I think he's got a show coming out on Stan. That's really good. it's all shot here, and it's got a lot of Australian actors in it, and it's made by an Australian director, so I think it can get it.
Peter Rabbit too.
The Invisible Man.
Oh, yes.
Is really strong. Dead Calm as well, with Nicole Kidman, Billy Zane, and Sam Neill, is a really fun, isolated thriller out on a boat on the water, where two people who are out sailing rescue a man from a sinking yacht, only to find out that something is awry with him, which is really good. And then I also want to put out another really uncomfortable movie by Sean Baker. Yeah.
Oh, wait, as in Tangerine?
Not that one. Simon Baker's directorial debut, Breath, is really good. As somebody that's from like a surfy coastal town, I think the way he sort of captures the horror, people,
the terror. Yeah.
Kinda. Yeah. No, but I mean, it's about like a young boy that ends up. It's probably like a 14 or a 15-year-old boy that starts to have an affair with a fully grown woman, and about whether or not he is being taken advantage of or isn't. And I think there's just some really uncomfortable stuff in it that's depicted in a very interesting way. And I also think that the setting itself of that coastal town and the water and the waves and surfing is just, that's the only one of any of the ones I've mentioned that has done a coastal town. And considering a lot of Australia lives on the coast, it's odd how little we see of the coast. We mostly see movies about the country. So that's great. And then I will end on one that was also really big, which was Lion.
Oh yeah, Lion's fantastic.
I think Lion's awesome.
Yeah.
So Australia. We've got the goods occasionally.
Yeah. Wolf Creek. I've got Wolf Creek. It's fun. It's a vibe.
Wolf Creek's fun.
Yeah. Go Australia. Go us, huh?
Hoorah.
Hoorah. Hey. Are we a little bit snobby sometimes? Do you want to be a little bit... we're going to shed the light on some good little films. It's called the underrated category.
Underrated?
How do you define underrated?
Movies that I think people are like, I don't really care about that movie, and I don't really talk about it all that positively. Or I guess it's... Or maybe people just don't talk about it anymore.
Gotcha. I've got ones that people didn't know about. I've gone for the ones that people... the rarest films I've seen.
Oh, you've gone that rare.
I've gone rare.
Oh, I've gone ones where I'm like... I don't know. Is anyone really watching that Danny Boyle film? Like that,
I'll take either, though.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Carl, I'm going to start off real quickly. The Dirties. This is Matt Johnson's film. It's about a school shooter. It's a mockumentary. If that sounds like a good time, but it's great. It's really fun. And he's directing the new...
Did he do Blackberry?
He did do Blackberry. Yeah. He also did Nirvana, the band in the show. And he's just doing a biopic now for...
Anthony
Bourdain. So that's his first film. Real good stuff. I vibe it.
Yeah, love. I've got the Danny Boyle film Trance.
Gotcha.
You ever seen Trance?
No. Is that the one with the boy? Because I started watching the one with the boy. Is that the one with the boy?
No.
Then I haven't seen that one.
It's the one with the art world.
No.
And a famous art painting has gone by, and maybe it was stolen when somebody was in a trance.
Oh, okay.
That's a fun premise. I think it's awesome.
Cool.
It's hyper violent, hyper silly. And I think it's just a really ripping time. And I don't think anyone gives a shit about it. And it kind of annoys the crap out of me because it's just really fun. It's just a really good, fun thriller.
I've got Beach Bum, Harmony Korines one, which got pretty torn apart. I feel like no one liked it. And I think you're wrong. Have you seen it?
No.
Then you haven't seen it. It's very good.
Yeah.
It is very good. I don't know why everyone's being so negative about it. And you're being very negative right now. You've got this sort of smirk about you. Matthew McConaughey is a drunk stoner poet, and he's vibing. And it's a good film. It's Zac Efron's best role. I won't even spoil it because it's that good of a performance. I think it's really good. And I don't know why. I get why. But... But I think it's great. I don't want to say much about it. It is just him hanging out, kind of living his best life and just doing well. And just interacting with other characters. I really like that. I think it's good. Yeah, it's a vibe.
That's a vibe. I've got The Grey.
The Liam Neeson one?
Yeah.
Changing my rating of the review of The Grey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one.
The wolf one.
Yeah. I think that movie got done dirty in the marketing of it being caught up in that time where Liam Neeson was like constantly releasing an action movie every January. I think The Grey strives to do a lot more in like a survival sense. And I just wish people would give it a chance. People are like, that
I won't
movie's
give
dumb.
I won't give it a
Liam
chance.
Neeson, just fights wolves, and I'm like, it's not. He's just trying to avoid death, and it's kind of striking.
I've got Viva, Carl. Do you remember Love Witch? People watching that a bit on Letterboxd. This is their other film. It's really cool art design. It's set in those 50s magazines. Everyone's got the Jello on the table, eating all the food. It's got this cool not pornographic soundtrack, but that kind of elevator music running throughout. Just this woman sort of being liberated from that sort of world and discovering it, but still in that sort of Barbie-esque photography. I think it's great. If you want to look at for a vibe of a film, I think that's it. I haven't seen Love Witch, but I think it's Anna Billa. Great stuff. She's also the star of it. Really cool movie.
My next one is Waves. Waves came out in 2019. It was an A24 film.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Did you ever see it?
No.
Nobody did.
No.
And they should have.
Oh.
It's fucking awesome. It is.
Can I look at the picture? Maybe I'm thinking, is there another one called something else? Oh, yeah, they're nice. Yeah, nice.
I would highly. It is. Imagine if the first half of a movie was Uncut Gems, followed by a horrifically stirring drama of the fallout of what had just occurred.
Oh goodness!
And the fact that it sort of attempts these two different genres of pacing within the one movie, and it does also attempt different filming styles as well. And the main character does shift halfway through, but it just tackles all of those things with such confidence, and it just pulls it off. And I think people loved this when it came out, and I just don't think anyone's talked about it since. But this director should probably be directing everything.
Oh yeah,
good. Everything.
Get this man on Ant-Man. Get him.
He would have nailed Quantumania.
Carl, I've got a little foreign film called Jean de Florette. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
You're not.
Here's the stakes, okay? Two guys, they own a little bit of land on the Italian countryside, and they're like, holy shit, there's a well on the neighboring land, okay? If we can get that, we could start selling flowers by the market, but all we need to do is we need to get the deed for it. Someone buys the plot of land, and then the father and the son plan to essentially psychologically torture this man so he will finally give up his land and sell it to them for cheap. It is a long con, it is 2 hours, and it is watching two conniving evil men prey on the downfall of such a kind soul. And you have to watch that, and it's stunning. It's beautifully shot. It's set in the Italian countryside. I just absolutely love it. There's a sequel. Apparently his daughter gets revenge. I can't wait to watch it. I think it's fantastic.
My next one is Loveless, which is a Russian or German film, I think. It is about a missing child and a marriage that's already been destroyed. And they've already sort of moved on, and neither of them are potentially interested in taking on the child. And then that's sort of the day the child disappears. And it's about just the fallout even further of a marriage dissipating. Not something that's going to bring them together more, but something that's making everything worse. It's very, very moving. And it's tense. So I would really recommend that. I think it was nominated for the Oscar. The Oscar the year came out in 2017. Really, really good.
Carl, I've got a risky one. It probably should have been in the uncomfortable category. It is my Letterboxd one with the least amount of reviews, people watching it. I'm going to have to bleep the name. Even had a girlfriend. It is about a sad loser who just watches porn all day and does nothing with his life. And that's the vibe. And the film pretty much goes...
Relatable.
Yeah. It's
damn
mega relatable.
Hit me.
Yeah.
Hit me right on the head.
That's the thing. I saw myself in this. No, it's just... What if it like an incel loser was just pathetic? And you just sort of watch that. And the film kind of goes... He's got this internal monologue. It's like American Psycho, but just a loser. So it's quite this grim little film, but I quite like it. It's on Tubi. It's got no reviews, but I really like it. It's fun. Well, it's not fun. It's pretty grim, but it's underrated.
I'm not a massive fan of Ridley Scott, but I love Matchstick Men.
Okay.
Which I think is a movie nobody's I
haven't even heard of it.
Matchstick Men.
Yeah.
It's Nicolas Cage and Sam Rockwell, and they're con men. and they get caught up in a great con. And it's just a great Ridley Scott film.
I've also got The Art of Self-Defense, that Jesse Eisenberg one.
I've seen that.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I think it's good.
think it's a really fun comedy.
I like the tone.
It's a good tone, right? He's essentially like he's a down on his luck sort of office worker. He gets mugged, and then he joins a karate class, an adult karate class. And it's got this sort of, not stilted humor, I don't know if that's exactly the right word, but it's very funny in sort of a macabre way. I don't know.
It's sort of like Napoleon Dynamite-esque.
I think so, right?
But not Napoleon Dynamite-esque at all.
No.
I think just in the stiltedness that Napoleon Dynamite is.
Yes. I really like it. I thought it was pretty underrated. I think he's really good in it. And I think it's got there's like 4 characters in there. All good. I've also got Storytelling, another Todd Solondz film. Fuck it. I'm going ham on him. It's split into 2 ones. There is like a 10-minute like prologue with Selma Blair, and she's a writing student. I won't get into it. It's pretty messed up. And then we follow essentially Paul Giamatti following around a boy trying to film a mockumentary. I feel like it might be a bit autobiographical. John Goodman's the father. It's just Paul Giamatti trying to document this boy trying to go through school, and it's grim as hell and it's sad as hell, like all Todd Solondz work, but it's very funny and I very much like it.
I'll finish up on Bakuraru, I think is how it is pronounced. I keep on being like, how do you pronounce this? Because I realize I've never really said it out loud.
No, it's pretty.
And then Google's like, you're on your own, bitch.
Yeah, good luck with that. Jesus Christ.
It is a really great little violent action movie about a town that realizes that they have just like vanished from modern digital maps, and maybe someone's spying on them.
Cars vibe, you know?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
If the Cars fought back.
Oh goodness! Oh god! To Cars 2.
It is great.
I've also got one last one. It's True Stories. It's David Byrne's, I think, only directorial voyeur. It's also got John Goodman in it. Oh, I freaking love John Goodman. It's pretty much him going around. I think it's like a Texas town. It feels like a Texas sort of vibe. Beautiful. I love the colors. I love the shapes. I love the songs. I think it's a satire, but it's not like a harsh satire. It's just like, listen, isn't this way of life a bit odd? And that's enough. I love him. It's great stuff. Carl, none of these fucking loser films anymore, okay? None of the ones with 3 people watching them. I'm talking the big popcorn makers, okay? The blockbusters. The ones that make $1 billion, and because they should, because they're good movies and they're better than your loser films.
They're better than you.
They're better than you. They're better than you. You think you can outdo Jaws? Get fucked, you loser. Get out of here. Carl, what's your blockbusters? I've gone down just the, look on TikTok like Film Bro. That's exactly what I got.
Oh yeah,
here.
I mean you can't get mad at them.
Yeah.
That's the annoying thing about Film Bro, and you're like, these are just good films.
Yeah,
I
like them for the right reasons though. You know?
I'm not weaponizing Fight Club.
Yeah, But God, it's cool.
God,
I wish I was Brad Pitt.
I wish I fought. I wish I fought.
I wish I could kick.
I wish Meatloaf had hugged me.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Don't we all? Carl, let's just go down it. Django Unchained, Quentin Tarantino. I was trying to be cool last round. I can't. I like it. It's fun. That's all I've got.
Hot take. I've decided I don't love Django Unchained anymore.
Oh, God.
Recently rewatched like all of them, and I was like, this one's weak.
Okay, I've not watched it for a while.
Yeah,
What was weak about it? Because I rewatched Kill Bill, did not vibe the second one really at all. The first one, I think, strong.
Yeah, the first one's
Second
great.
one really weaks off. Death Proof is like slowly climbing up there.
Who doesn't love Death Proof?
I've not seen Django in a hot minute. I
Yeah.
put it down here. I remember watching it on the big screen. I was like, that's good.
Yeah.
What's the go? What's the vibe?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's just like I think it's like pacing is not as tight as it can be. I think he's being a bit overindulgent in it. I just don't think it's as compelling a story as some of his other stuff. So, I mean, I'm more of like an Inglourious Basterds guy.
I have come around. I'll take that. I haven't. Maybe I'll rewatch Django. Maybe I'll rewatch Pulp Fiction. I haven't seen Pulp Fiction.
Oh my
in
god, just
so
rewatch them
long.
all. I mean, they're all good.
Yeah.
I mean, Django Unchained's still good.
Yeah,
Like-
I wish you can roll around all you want and you
Yeah.
can come back to it, but sometimes
Yeah.
it's just pretty good.
I even rewatched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood recently, and I don't love that movie.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I was wrong. This movie was just trying to be like, isn't this just a nice time? And I was like, do more.
Do more.
Do more.
Kill them. Kill them. Just like I like Django. What have you got, Cal?
My next one's Speed.
Oh, Speed's so good.
How good Speed?
I did all 2000s. I forgot the 90s exist.
Yeah.
Oh god, Speed's so good.
Speed's such a good blockbuster. In that case, I'll make it easy. Matrix.
Yeah, damn. It's
Yeah.
so this is such a podcast.
Yeah.
Dude, the Matrix slaps.
But
It's
it does.
It's so good.
It does. What do you expect people to do? Not be excited about the Matrix? When people are like, yeah, that's like 12-year-old boys. And I'm like, yeah, because fucking cool.
So sick. They're in trench coasters and they slow down time. God's alive. Oh, you know what's sick as well? The Dark Knight.
Oh, yeah. Flawless. There's nothing...
We can't chat about it.
We can't add anything to the conversation.
Look at us. We're in our 20s. People will look at us and go, you guys are already going to start talking to me about it. And we can't, but God, let us do it. We've had a couple episodes on this. We have 2 episodes of Who Would Watch Us. We're saying it right now. It's cool.
I'm going to tell you, it was 2008. I was 14, I guess.
You would have been, I was 11. So you'd be 12? Which is...
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can't, like, I'm sorry... Yeah. You can't put a 12-year-old boy in the cinema and tell, like, here's the Dark Knight. Have an opinion it's the best film ever.
And it was the best film ever. Yeah. And then here's the thing, when you watch it again, when you're older, it's still the best film ever. Like, that movie is just it's just somebody constantly just being like, yeah, but what if every scene was fucking cool?
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, what if you didn't breathe, and when you felt like you were going to breathe, we killed a main character.
With blue air in your mouth. There you go. You couldn't even get a breath. You're freaking out.
I'll follow that up with Inception. Yeah. Just if we're just doing Christopher Nolan movies,
like you can't just guys. We get it. You like them a lot. You can't chat about them, but we're in a safe space.
People are like, you can't talk about somebody that's just kind of nailing it.
I've also got The Wolf of Wall Street. I mean, I don't have Martin Scorsese here. Why not? I can talk about other films he's done. He's got beautiful. I like it for the right reasons. Wolf of Wall Street. It's cool.
I don't idolize him.
No,
but it's a great time.
And you know what? I kind of do. God, I want to live that life. I'll do anything to live that life. Oh God.
I've got the first 2 Pirates of the Caribbean.
Nice. Yeah, nice. I watched the third when I was young and I had a good time, and I will not I don't care if it's an extra hour too long. It's fun, but also you are right. The big wheel's fun.
The big wheel's so fun. Yeah. I think the thing that makes these just better the more we watch them is they're surprisingly apart from the villains, very little CGI, and so they're aging really well.
The CGI on Davy Jones, though,
it looks great.
That's fantastic. Yeah. I think we watched, maybe I watched it recently.
Yeah, it's just like they're out in the water with ships and they're blowing them up, and they're just going, "We're spending too much money.
Yeah,
God, this better be a hit so we can just milk it."
I do not. They can do the 4th and the 5th. Johnny Depp can do whatever they want. They took a big risk. It paid off massively. Milk it dry. You got the 3.
Oh, I mean, watching the dailies with his performance being like, I'm a drunk. And you'd just be like, what? This is like a kid.
Once he came back from life, he's been reanimated.
It was just his head.
Yeah, it was in the water. He bobbed around like an ice cube. He was like, that's good shit.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, nice.
Or any Spielberg sort of blockbuster that isn't like Ready Player One or the BFG is the best.
Okay, BFG coming out of my list, I guess. Fuck me dead.
Crazy to strike it.
I would love to watch these. I guess blockbusters, I want to watch these on a big screen. I want to watch Heat on a big screen. I want to watch Mad Max Fury Road on a big screen. I want to watch Terminator 2 on a big screen. And I want to watch Babylon on a big screen. Yeah, would you count that as a blockbuster?
I'd count it as a bomb.
It's the budget of a blockbuster and the stars of a blockbuster.
A bomb.
It did not.
It
did not bust the blocks.
It didn't bust the blocks. But what's crazy is it's like you kind of like could have seen Fury Road in a cinema. Because Furiosa just came out and neither of us went and supported it. And I feel awful about it.
I do real bad. Ugh. It was a lot of films on. Remember we had like 3 films in a day?
It came out during the Sydney Film Festival. It was never going to succeed on my timeline.
No.
How foolish of them. They should have been like, guys, Carl's not going to be able to make it. We've got to push it a week.
George, reschedule.
Speaking of ones this year as well, Dune Part 2 gave me the type of chills that I haven't had since I was a 12-year-old.
I haven't seen
it. You've got to see it in an IMAX, and you've just got to be like, it's like watching 2001 for the first time.
Yeah, nice.
You're like, it's sensory overload.
Yeah.
And they're just trying. And when you watch a movie nowadays, you go like, were you even trying? They were. They really were.
You know, we're not all about narratives.
Never.
Sometimes fiction's pretty lame. You know what's better than non-fiction? Non-fiction. That's right. We're doing documentaries.
What's better than non-fiction is non-fiction?
I'm saying like none of this fiction, that's non-fiction. Okay? Do you get what I'm... It's completely grammatically correct.
I assume we're doing docos about nuns.
Documentaries. Carl, give me your documentaries.
I hadn't seen as many as I thought I had.
I thought so too. I've watched, I'll be honest, I'm going to just get the ones out of the way that don't count. Stop Making Sense, the Talking Head one.
Oh, well, I mean, a concert movie's not
Technically, they documented a moment.
Make sure to catch the Eras tour on Disney+.
It's a good documentary. I don't know if you count it, Jackass.
I would.
1, 2, 3, 4, you pick. And then Finding Francis, Nathan Fielder. But then I'll go for the actual. Do you want to go for the actual documentaries? Because I've got 3 good ones I would happily recommend.
I've got 7.
Okay, huge. I burnt through my 3. I'll go. I'll go real quickly. Life Itself. This is the Roger Ebert's one documentary, pretty much documenting his life, his final years, and just him as a film critic. We are film people. I like film documentaries. This is a really nice one. I think it's pretty bittersweet, sad, powerful. Love. He's a cool man. Carl, what's your documentaries?
3 Perfect Strangers. Have you seen this one?
It's the one with triplets, right?
The 3 Perfect Strangers?
That's the one, yes.
Yeah, that's right. 3 people that realize that they are related and that they look identical. And a little bit of a conspiracy seems to circle its way out of that when they wonder why they were ever split up. And it is a great documentary. I also want to shout out, I feel like it's probably had some heat, and it's also a shame because the lead of it died recently, but Super Size Me is a very good documentary, and I think people want to discount it because he was an alcoholic, and that threw off the entire experiment.
It's definitely a hindrance on the thing.
It's definitely a hindrance on like its purpose, but that movie, I think, is very important to the actual consumption of calories and what he did towards the fast food industry. Super Size Me was really big. But if you haven't seen it, he did a follow-up called Super Size Me 2, which is all about...
He also did the one with the brands. I can't remember that one that did.
Yeah, he did the greatest movie ever advertised.
Yeah.
But the Super Size Me 1 and 2, I think, are really fun documentaries on the film, on the food industry.
Yeah.
Regardless as to whether or not the experiment he's making, I think, is... of
valid.
Valid. But I mean, it's like you watch Super Size Me and you go, well, that still can't be good. You know, he was an alcoholic and eating junk food all the time.
Oh God, what a good life. I will say this right now. Sometimes I do crave a supersized meal. I've never had one. It feels alluring, like the holy grail.
Have they gotten rid of it?
It's gone. It went out. They got rid of it like seconds after the documentary. Yeah. That was its big impact.
It is crazy because it's like, it's also his big impact that they bothered to put up the kilojoules. That's him just being like, you need to tell people how fucking fattening this is.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you.
I think you've seen this. Dear Zachary?
I have seen Dear Zachary. I was going to put this in the cry category. Man, like that's the summary, right? You'll cry. You'll
just cry forever.
Yeah.
And you'll go, are people out there this cruel, or would such bad things keep happening to such nice people?
Yep. They really keep going.
Yeah.
Carl, I've got a documentary called American Movie. This is about 2 guys in the 90s making a small little film. And it is just, if you're aspiring to be a filmmaker, if you like movies, this is just a beautiful tale. I just think it encapsulates creativity, pushing forward, doing anything you can to just get what you want made. And it is just one of the best films about filmmaking. I've also got Hearts of Darkness, which is almost the opposite scale of I've got 2 about making films. One's much more endearing. One's way better and way more interesting in the sense that just, hey, here's a dumpster fire. How did that film work? How did Francis Ford Coppola? How is it technically a movie? You know, does it count if you kind of just stitch together a year's worth of things and you made a movie? But it's also very entertaining.
I've also got a French movie that came out this year that I cannot pronounce even in the slightest, and I'm just going to butcher it. It'll be in the show notes. It's Menus Polaris Les Troigros, and I haven't even bothered to try and put a French spin on that.
Whoa, are we not doing German?
Yeah, Menus Polaris Les Troigros is in my deep Australian accent, but it's just 4 hours of cooking. And it's just, what if you saw like a Michelin, like one of the best restaurants in the world cooking, and what if you saw like the restaurant down the road owned by his son and their style of cooking in two different renowned places.
Cool.
And
you were gushing about this. I remember.
Yeah, they're not. There's. It's just a regular. It's not even an interesting day in the kitchen. Things just go well. Things are nice. It's just about how adaptable they are. How in the morning they're just coming up with the menu. Like then they cook it, and then people eat it, and you go, nice.
I will say this is my favorite documentary of all time. Haven't seen many, but this one, it's not about film either, which is great. About a cartoonist, about Robert Crumb. He came up, he did Felix the Cat. He did those sort of like, just a bit before Mad Magazine, stuff like that. It's directed by Terry Zwigoff. I can never pronounce it, but he also did Ghost World.
Turns out we can't pronounce anything.
We can't pronounce anything. This is about a pretty disturbed guy who made it massive in the underground comic world, and it just follows him for 2 years, and it sort of goes into a bit of, his sexuality, what his art means, and how he puts his sort of pretty perverted ideas into that, whether that's a good thing, a bad thing, what that is. He's also got his family dynamic. One is a deeply troubled man, and one is a drug addict. That might not sound fun, but it's pretty eye-opening. It's just he's an interesting man, and they've captured it. I just think it is, if there's one documentary you should go out and check out, is Crumb. I absolutely adore Crumb. So interesting.
About breadcrumbs, really?
Yeah.
Damn. I'll speed round 3. The Rescue, which is about saving the
Thai balls?
Yeah, the Thai soccer team from the cave. Mm-hmm. This is a very fascinating, like, how they pulled that off and how dangerous it was. I genuinely think this was a really fun documentary, and I think it's one that's really in tune to millennials and I just don't think things have even been able to really touch it in terms of a cultural moment for a millennial documentary. But I think Fire, which was about Fire Festival, was a documentary that really had a grip on the internet for 3 weeks about how influencers are and whether they should investigate more into what they're branding and how things can go so sideways and just rich people and corruption. I just remember that was a real sort of moment for the internet. And I thought that was a really good modern one. Independent documentary Tickled is also great.
What's that about?
Which is about a guy who just decides, wow, there is a lot of queer porn that's just about men being tickled, and just
there you go.
Wanted to investigate that, and it turns out there is an underbelly to that.
Wow.
And he pulls a bit of a thread, and it just begins to unravel. And it's by a Kiwi director, and it's just really fascinating, really good. So yeah, those. Oscar. Pre-1970s movies.
Yes.
Or I guess maybe inclusive? Who knows?
Who knows? We're doing a bit old. We're going from the start of cinema to the 70s. I know there's a lot, but guess what? Sometimes we don't want to watch a 1930s film. I'm sorry.
Who knew?
But some of them are good. Some of them are great. Carl, I'll start us off with the oldest film here. It's 100 years old, but fuck, it's good. The General. It's by Buster Keaton. It is him trying to go on a train. It's Mad Max, essentially. It's him on a train, going one way, going back another way. Jackass for the 20s. Great stuff. I think real good stuff. Just not in the. It's just a guy doing stunts. It's just a guy going. It's just him on YouTube going, I'm gonna put a firecracker in my butt, and then I'm going to catch it. And it's that.
It's like halfway between Jackass and Dude Perfect.
Yeah.
But it's tasteful because it's Buster Keaton in black and white.
Oh, it's gorgeous. God.
Anything by Buster Keaton, in my opinion, is actually worth the watch.
Yeah.
I think it's nice now that history's like, no, Charlie Chaplin sucked. Buster Keaton's
the
what
Gold
mattered.
Rush? Get out of here, huh? We're Sherlock Jr. heads.
Buster Keaton's watching Tom Cruise like fly down into the Olympics, and he's like, "That's what I wish I'd done." Like that's the Buster Keaton vibes. The Lady Vanishes by Alfred Hitchcock is one of mine that I think is fantastic. That got remade into. We were watching a trailer for a Jodie Foster thriller called Flight Plan.
Oh, I've heard of Flight Plan.
Yeah. And The Lady Vanishes is like the original version of that. And it's just
Is it set on a plane, or they just put it
it's on a train.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. There's an automobile and a
Yeah,
third one.
and it's just good. It's just a good time.
Nice.
And just on top of like things being remade, the other one that's really good is called The Shop Around the Corner with Jimmy Stewart, and that got remade into You've Got Mail.
Nice.
But The Shop Around the Corner is hella cute.
Hells yeah. I've got a film from the 40s, I believe. Kind Hearts and Coronets. I have no idea what a coronet is. Essentially,
Like a cornetto.
Gotcha. Okay, it's the Cornetto quadrilogy. It's this guy. He's pretty poor, and he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna parasite a family. What's that family? It's 9 Alec Guinnesses, all in drag. It is him just being very methodical British man going, I'm gonna pick them off one by one, and it shows them doing that. And I think for what the 40s or 50s it comes from, I love watching very old films and going, oh, cool, we're exactly the same as we have always been. It's really cheeky. I think it's really fun.
I feel like it's probably on both of ours. Citizen Kane.
Oh, yeah, no, I haven't got that. I got Mank here, though. Freaking love Mank.
I was doing, I think the movie Pyramid, and it was Amanda Seyfried did Mank. It was like a 0.2.
Hells yeah.
Yeah, I was very thrilled. I think Citizen Kane holds up.
Yeah.
I get it. The other one is A Matter of Life and Death, which I think I might have talked about on this before, which is about a soldier who should have died, and his soul forgets to be picked up in the afterlife. And so he just gets to keep living until they're like, well, the count's off, you'll have to go down and grab his soul and bring him up.
Fun.
And he's like, well, I didn't die, so why do I have to be the one that dies? And it spirals a court case in heaven and all of the spirits that do it.
What is that?
Oh, it's super old. It's really dreamy. I think Greta Gerwig said she took a bit for it from like for Barbie and its approach, but it's also really nice too because anything that is done in the real world is black and white, and then anything in the afterlife is in Technicolor.
Oh, very cool.
And death is like a camp Frenchman. So it's
I just love old films.
It's just really fun. It's like absurd. It's surreal. It's just a really good old movie.
I've got, Singing in the Rain. It's all the hype's real. It's that good. I don't know if I love musicals. That's great. It's crazy.
It's a musical, but on crack.
It's on crack. It's them dancing. I can't believe Gene Kelly can do that. Oh my God. I got The Apartment, Billy Wilder.
Yeah, I've got The Apartment on mine as well.
Yeah.
Bicycle Thieves.
I haven't seen that one. I've been meaning to.
Bicycle Thieves is awesome. Strangers on a Train.
I've got 12 Angry Men in there.
Maybe that's on my other list.
Oh, shit.
The Great Escape.
I haven't seen The Great Escape.
Yeah. Great Escape's good. Harakiri, also known as Serpico. It's really
Nice.
good. And Rope.
Nice. I had Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Nice. I've never seen it.
Man,
It's the running time.
I gotta tell you, and they take a good 40 minutes to do a thing. Goes a blast. That ending really fucking pays off. Love it. Great stuff. We've done a bunch of genre films. Let's just get down to the best fave, you know? It's either the best films ever or our favorite films ever. They'll merge the two because that's how art works. If I like something, it's automatically good.
Yeah.
That's how this works.
And we cleverly dude-broed it because a lot of my favorites were definitely in the blockbuster section. And I was like, but they're in the blockbuster section, so the best movie section's a bit more avant-garde.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not going to be... The Dark Knight. We're cooler than that, man. We got some weird films here.
But no matter what I say during this, it's not The Dark Knight.
Carl, I think just my favorite film, and I don't know how much I can talk about it, but I just love Doctor Strangelove. I keep watching it over and over again. It's Stanley Kubrick, so it's great. It's him doing a comedy. It's him doing a satire. It's him at the brink of nuclear war going, well, let's just have a little bit of a farce. I think it encapsulates man. I think it encapsulates what we're going to do. And I just love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's so funny. I think it's not in the sense of the jokes, because sometimes you watch these older films and they go like, joke. And you're like, well, that's funny, but it has lost its humor. I think the darkness and I think the truth there is the joke that keeps on giving.
And it looks great.
It looks. And I think I love when a director or anybody approaches a comedy with the power of like a drama. It's like, we're going to put the amount of effort in that we do for, Lawrence of Arabia into a comedy. I think that's what he did. And I just think it's the best film ever.
Mine's The Social Network.
Oh, yeah. No.
It's just going for it.
Yeah.
It's just, anytime I'm like, why is this true story not as good as just about the creation of a social
boring
media
part
company?
of now Facebook.
I know.
There's another half to the story, and it might be more interesting. It's so good.
It's so good, and it's just
Trent Reznor's getting his love at the moment.
Oh man, and he's about to do the new Tron.
I saw that. Everyone was like, a new Tron, you can't get Daft Punk, and they're like, Nine Inch Nails, like, holy shit, you're gonna be the best film ever.
Foaming at the mouth.
Social Network is fantastic.
Whiplash.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like these are new. It's not like these are new. Like, everybody knows these films are
the
good.
blockbuster. Who gives a shit? It's great. Okay,
Yeah.
It came out when we're like bang on 20. It's like, this is so good. I love Whiplash. I love it. I love it so much.
It's just, when you watch a movie and you go, God, they just shot the shit out of it. Like, they got every possible interesting angle of just somebody putting down like a drumstick.
I gotta tell you,
it's just
Damien at his end of Babylon and the end of Whiplash. I absolutely adore.
It's cooking.
That, if you want like a masterclass in editing, that scene at the end, oh my god, it's good. I've got All the President's Men. Controversial. Fuck The Godfather. This is the shit. It's got the same cinematographer, and it's the best just investigative journalism. They're just in like the middle of like they're just journalists, and all they're doing is writing down information, and it is the most gorgeous office. I don't know how they've done it. The whole thing, like, just a bunch of like white boxes of just sort of things, but they've got the occasional red little notebook here and a yellow notebook there. It looks fantastic. Dustin Hoffman and what's the other guy's name? I'm going absolutely blank.
Robert Redford.
Yes, fucking amazing. Just terrific.
The Truman Show.
Yeah.
Peter Weir. I mean, he
Weir.
He just
nailed it.
He's just nailing it.
it.
Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah, that's a really nice one. That's really nice. I love Little Miss
I think Little Miss Sunshine's about as good as you can get for a family drama. Like a 90-minute family drama, so tight. I'm always in awe of that movie in terms of its screenwriting, because it's able to have every character in the movie conduct the same. They all have to make the same choice at the end, and it's the completion of all their arcs in different ways.
That's really interesting. That's really cool.
And I don't know how you do
it. Doesn't feel like
it doesn't
forced.
feel
It doesn't
forced.
feel like, it all feels like this just naturally, I need to do this in this moment.
Yeah.
Really real. I love that. I had Uncut Gems here. We were already talking about Uncut Gems.
Too uncomfortable.
I love it, though. I love that stress. I want to be there. The ending just makes me... I fucking love it. Love Uncut Gems. I love being stressed. I think it is just such a beautiful, angry mess. God, I love it. We've also got Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love this. Yeah, I think it's really nice. All in on it. Pretty. That ending again makes me tear up and go, God.
To be a woman in the countryside.
Wouldn't it be nice?
I would give anything to just be running towards a cliff with the intention to jump.
It'd be freeing.
It would really be freeing.
There, you go, you do the rock scrape, you go, no. Whoa.
I've got 12 Angry Men.
Yeah.
That's just... When you
Clean,
watch that movie,
good fun.
When you watch that movie, you go, "Wow, they were really just making movies this good back then."
God, I remember watching it, and my partner was like, "What the hell is it?" Because normally I'm watching some weird Tubi movie. She's like, "Get the hell out of here!" And then she was like, 12 Angry Men. So wait, so what? This court drama? What? 12 people don't want to? Oh, one of them says no, huh? Oh shit. Well, I mean, like, is he innocent? Is he guilty? Sat. It's great. Anyone can watch it. It's so good.
It's so good. Adaptation.
Yes.
As well.
Charlie Kaufman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've forgotten to put on. I think Anomalisa is probably in the underrated category.
Yeah.
And then
Great. I also, I don't know if I've given it much love. I love stop motion. I feel like Coraline's also there. I'll throw that out there.
Coraline's awesome.
Yeah.
And I've chosen adaptation, but like my love is definitely there for being John Malkovich as well.
Yeah. I can just quickly run off some of my my honorable mentions.
Go for it.
We've got After Hours, Election, Whiplash, Tropic Thunder, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Simple Plan, Network, Dog Day Afternoon, Ed Wood, The Worst Person in the World, There Will Be Blood. A lot of Wes Anderson films, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, that's right, it's that good. Princess Mononoke, The Thing, American Psycho, 2001, JFK, Eternal Sunshine, Fargo, In the Mood for Love, Final Destinations, They're Fun, Drop Dead Gorgeous, Josie and the Pussycat Dolls, The Descent, Coraline, Glengarry Ross, American Psycho, Wicker Man, Freeway, Edge of 17, Adaptation, 3 Billboards, The Descendants, Social Network, May December, and Lars and the Real Girl.
I wasn't aware we could do just like all of them.
Yeah, fuck it.
So if they didn't fit into a category, I didn't get to talk about them. But I'll just finish off my ones, which was Gone Girl, Her.
Yep.
Ratatouille.
Gorgeous.
The Thing.
Yeah, hells yeah.
The Thing is awesome. The Handmaiden.
Yep.
Cure and Brazil.
Hells yeah.
Seen Brazil?
I have seen Brazil.
How good's Brazil?
Fucking love Terry Gilliam.
Wish he'd make movies good again.
He's given it. He's trying, but he's a bitter man.
He's very bitter.
Did
you watch Don Quixote?
No one watched Don Quixote. That was the problem. No one wanted to make it, and he should have gone.
He shouldn't have made it.
No one's going to watch it then, are they? Oh, no one wants to make it?
Yeah.
Well, then
I think Adam Driver was in that. He loves going up to a director and being like, is nobody going to make it? I'll be in it.
He did that for 65.
Yeah.
Carl, let's end it there on the best movie, 65.
If you haven't seen 65, you can watch it in Australia on Binge. Adam Driver is somewhere 65 million years ago. Oops.
Carl, we love film here. We normally shit on them, but God, film's good.
It's nice to rep some good ones.
Yeah.
And I also think we talked about this in a really lovely way that meant that if you haven't seen them, I don't think they were spoiled for you.
No.
So if any of them sounded interesting to you, please, by all means, go watch them. Let us know if you did watch them. Whether you like them or not, we'd love to hear your thoughts. You can email us at arswwtpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, send us angry messages if some of those uncomfortable films we gushed about were actually pretty uncomfortable. And went, hey, that was a bad film to watch with my family. We're going to write down all our films in the show notes.
Are we?
I've got mine on my...
I deleted my notes.
Oh, what the hell? Okay, well, I'll have mine on there. Listen, we'll have... Okay, we'll have...
You can write them down as said on the podcast.
Yeah, let me transcribe. God, thanks for listening.